I was going to make a video to show you how to bring your project back into DaVinci and then export your project out of DaVinci and then bring your project into Premiere and then export your project out of Premiere and then make your final files to be turned in for the screening and to be graded. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is, this is already here, but if I right click on here and say import, I can go to my drive, and I'm using Ariana's drive, and she basically worked on the leftover film. So if we click here, there should be this Ariana Sage Color DRP, and if you open that in DaVinci, it's saying that it already has it there, but this is what will happen. It will import the project here, right? So this is it. So once you import that, that should be saved on your hard drive. You should have exported it when you finished your color. You can open up your project from DaVinci here. Okay, so once you're done with your coloring, it's time to export. So you're going to go to the Deliver tab. Okay, and you're going to be on the custom setting. We're going to export one single clip. We call it a baked clip, meaning that all of your edits and color are baked in. You can't change it anymore. Okay, so at this point, when you're coloring, you need to have picture lock because you now can't change any picture because you're bringing back in the main clip to attach to your other sequence. Okay, so in video, I'm going to choose ProRes 444 for my color in QuickTime, and then the Ultra HD 3840 by 2160 is the resolution that we shot at. So we're going to export this as a 4K file. Okay. Audio we can uncheck. We don't have any audio in our sequence. And file, you can use a custom name. You could put it here. I'm going to say leftover baked 4K. Okay. Once that's done, you can hit add to render queue. That's going to appear over here, right? And now I'm going to start to render, and it's going to render out wherever I said it was going to go. Right now it's going to go in the Ariana G Drive leftover file, and that's going to take a little bit of time here. Export is done in DaVinci, so we can get out of this and we can open up Premiere, and Ariana has already had a project opened leftover which has all of her files in it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make a new sequence, and we want that sequence to be in 4K. So we're going to go to our settings and change this to custom, and our sequence is 24 frames a second, and our resolution now is 3840 by 2160. And then we're going to change this to QuickTime, and we're going to change this to Apple ProRes 444, and this should be changed to 3840 and 2160. Okay, and here's our new sequence. Here's our 4K export. We're going to import that. There's our whole movie. We can drag this into our sequence, into the video clip, so that now this is in 4K. So we can go back to the proxy edit where we had all our audio, and what I can do is lock the video tracks, and I can grab the audio files from here and bring them to my new sequence, which I should label now 4K new sequence. I'll put my name on it so I know. And then I can basically paste those audio files right into here so it matches up.
Tonight.
If only there was a way where I didn't have to throw away my food, but I didn't have to take it home with me.
What?
Okay, so those are the four. Now this is all in 4K. Now if you want, you can go add your titles here. and your end credits here and any other music. You cannot move the audio clips around because they'll be out of sync, but you can adjust levels, keyframing, things of that nature, right? So everything really should be final, or as final as it can be before you go to DaVinci and start coloring, okay? So now we can do a few things. Now it's time to export the sequence. So let's export a master file. If we go to Export Media and we go to Match Sequence Settings, that's going to export a 4K file from your 4K sequence. So if we just want to be quick about it, we can just match sequence settings and export about a second of footage, right? And we can call this new 4K export. I'm going to put my name on it so I know that it's mine. And we can export that. And that should be pretty quick. And then what we want to do is we want to go to encoder. And then that's where we can make our 1080 sequence for screening. And we can also make our 4K export for YouTube. Okay, so here is encoder. So I can go to my hard drive and find my new 4K export Keith, throw that in encoder. Okay, so we can do a few things here. If I click on this, so it's in H.264, so if I want to send it out to YouTube in 4K, we can just go down here and pick YouTube 2160p 4K, and then we can export that way. And then if we want to export for screening, we can drag in another version of this. And we can go here, H.264, we can do custom, and we can do right here 1920 by 1080, right? And then down in the bit rate, we're going to pick 30 for our screening. And if you can see right here, it says output 1920 by 1080. This all looks good. We can use maximum render quality and click OK. And then this is going to export my copy for screening. And that's how you're getting the stuff out of DaVinci into Premiere, and then out of Premiere into encoder, and then for upload and for screening.